Ja, hello and welcome to another episode of the Spielworxx Chat, Season 3. My name is Uli Blennemann. I hope you are all well, and hello Andre, good seeing you. If you have questions or comments today, please put them in the chat window. And I'm back in Germany, here at my desk, working. And it's quite a difference from Portugal. But we will get to LeiriaCon and Portugal a little bit later because I have a ton of news. And hello Stefan, good seeing you. So available from the Spielworxx shop right now are two games, and let me put in the URL in here of the store. First is Squaring Circleville, which is a thematic game which in my opinion has one of the best rondel mechanisms, and it is by the wonderful Matt Wolf. And also available is Colonialism by Scott Leibrand, but this is the second edition, so that was published by Compass Games. The first edition is from 2013 and done by Spielworxx, and in my opinion the game captures the dark theme very well, with all the needed respect, and hopefully it lets you start thinking about this period of time. So check out these two games, which are available from the Spielworxx store. And Pilgrim by Nick Case and London Necropolis Railway by Daniel Newman. They are both in pre-order for my web store, so you can also check out these games. And Uwe Rosenberg's Oranienburger Kanal will start at GameFound on April 27. It will also start on Spieleschmiede at the same time, and I'm hard at work at the preview page. Should be up this weekend. Let's put it this way. And hello Drösig, I think it's Detlef. Hopefully I'm not mistaken. Good seeing you. And Oranienburger Kanal is a very tight 1 or 2 player game by Magic Uwe himself. So that will be the next big release by Spielworxx. And for German language viewers, I have the following news. So first, the third printing of the German edition of Pax Pamir is happening right now. So the game is again in pre-order at my website. So this is really the third time that I'm making this game available for pre-ordering, and I do not have to tell you a lot of details about this fantastic game. If you do not own it already, please check it out, and it's really outstanding and very special. And hello Karthik, so I will mention you even a little bit later. Great seeing you after not that many days in Portugal. And on April 22nd, so April 22, April 22nd, there will be another great Cold Whirly game, John Company 2nd edition. John Company will go to pre-order from my web store. So, of course, this is the German edition. I'm really looking forward to playing the game myself. And staying with Cold Whirly, the Root, the German edition by Leader Games, will also go to pre-order from Spielworxx in late this month on April 29, and there will be a pre-order for the base game and for the first expansion, which is Riverfolk. In German it is Flussvolk. So Flussvolk expansion and base game will go to pre-order late this month. So it is a very busy month. And hello Matt, great seeing you. I already mentioned you with Squaring Circleville here. And finally I have another announcement. It was briefly on Twitter earlier today, because already tomorrow, the German edition of Magnet, the First City by Naylor Games, designed by James Naylor, will go to pre-order. So you can also pre-ordering, if you like, the German edition of Magnet, the first city. And let me put in the BGG page for that game. So it's there, and here is a review by the wonderful and Dan Thoreau on Magnet, and there's also a podcast. Dan talks to James for about an hour at the SpaceBiff website. You will definitely find that. And in my opinion, it is a very special game, great components. The English edition sold out, and there will be a new English edition of the game, and together it will be printed together with the German edition and with the Korean edition, so all together, so that the prices are coming down a little bit. Check out the game tomorrow if you are interested in it. Yeah, a lot of interesting stuff, and all at the same time. Sometimes you cannot really plan for this, because you either print it or not, because it has to be at the same time out as partners are doing it. And yeah, it is somewhat strange, a little bit too much, but I can't really help it. Andre, this is not your crappy keyboard. When you're writing it wrongly, it is the first Chardonnay already from the Chardonnay Mafia. So this is what it is. But after all this news, let us move back to Portugal and to LeiriaCon. As I said here last time, before I left for the convention, I was really very anxious going. And last couple of days before the convention, I slept really bad, and I hadn't been in a plane since late 2019. So really, I was really very anxious. And of course, the plane departing from Düsseldorf was packed to the last seat. So really, it was full. Didn't feel that well. So, but as soon as I reached Lisbon, and I got out of the plane, and I was waiting a little bit at the airport for Peter Eggert and his lovely wife Martina arriving. So the stress level was already reduced a lot. And Peter and Martina, they had a rental car, and we drove together to Leiria. And that was already, in my opinion, a relaxing start. And as soon as we reached the hotel in Leiria, everything got a lot better, and I was starting to relax a lot. And of course, at the same night, the Roosters were playing, and they finally made sure that they were not relegated. So after a 0-3 against Straubing, they won 4-3. So season ended with a really, really happy end. Not relegated to DL2, and then later they even won another game on Friday when I was at Leiria, lost the final game on Sunday, but all good too on Wednesday. And all together at LeiriaCon, there were about official numbers, which I asked for on Sunday. There were about 700 people. So LeiriaCon in 4 days. LeiriaCon is not a huge convention, but it has also an international flair, because there are people from not only from Germany, there were people from the UK, even from the US, from Spain, from Italy, from Finland. So very nicely. And not all people, all 700, stayed there for all 4 days. So some just a single day, some 2 days. And the gaming areas, there are 3 gaming areas on 3 different levels. So it really feels, if you are staying for the full day in the same area, it feels like a convention of maybe 100 people. So really cozy, really nice, really relaxed, really small, which in my opinion, is one of the pleasures of being at Leiria. And everything, by the way, takes place in one large hotel. And let me see. I think I twittered this before, but there is. So this is a view from one of the early mornings, right in front of one of the basement gaming area. And this is just a part of the hotel. So it has it has one main building which looks like a hotel, but then it has these lovely tiny houses which are actually just double rooms. And you see in every other one, you can't even go to the top level because there is no top level. It's just downside. And for larger families, let's say, or larger guest rooms, you have two, you can go up and down and up to 4 people. So really nicely done. Really nice place. Yeah, so LeiriaCon is in one larger hotel, and you can have breakfast, lunch and dinner in there. And what is also fantastic is how nice and lovely, especially if you are coming from Germany, are the Portuguese people. So it's you immediately see the difference between pretty straightforward, let's put it positively, Germans and nice Portuguese. And we laughed a lot at the convention. We ate and drank way too much. And I met people that I hadn't seen for several years. So it was also a reunion with some people. And of course, because the Atlantic is directly, it's maybe from the hotel 50 meters. So in the late afternoon, we always went to the Atlantic, looked at the waves, and that was also fantastic. And I tested Carolingi, which will be a Sea Cove Games release. So Sea Cove Games is a small company Peter Eggert and I'm doing together. And we tested another game that may well end at Sea Cove Games, because the initial impressions are really, really very favorable. It has also a very interesting theme. Let's see. And we tested Racing Chicago by Matt Wolf and El Burro, a La Granja game by Mike and Ode. And I can happily say now that both Racing Chicago and El Burro now work very smoothly. And just there is some balancing issues. A few things in El Burro will need to go, a change here and there, but I'm really happy. And thank you very much to all the testers, including Karthik, of course, who played at least El Burro, I think you played. And at the same time, Nick Case, who was there, he was presenting his Pilgrim design, and Pilgrim got a lot of love from players in Portugal. And what else did I play apart from test games? So I played Travis D. Hill's Cube Rail games Union Station. That is a small game by New Mill. Really interesting, very compact game. So if you are traveling, this small box can go easily into your suitcase. So recommended. And I played for the first time. I had heard good things about it, but I hadn't played it before. I played Café by Rola and Costa. And this is really a lovely small gamers game. So playing time is about 20 minutes, but it's a game for gamers. Every decision matters. And surprisingly, it needs, if you play with 4, a lot of table space. So small box, but it gets larger and larger. But really good game by Rola and Costa. I'm surprised. Although the game does include English language rules, among many other languages, that there is no English language publisher for this game. In my opinion, a US publisher should pick up Café, can maybe change a little bit of the art, because for the cafes, they are using cafes in Portugal, where you deliver your coffee. And of course, a US publisher could include famous US coffee stores. Please no Starbucks, though I said famous ones. So I think Cafe is a really good game. Yeah, Matt is saying, and Stefan is saying Cafe is really nice. Matt is saying it was released in the US. I picked it up. Yeah, but not in a genuine English language edition. Or am I mistaken here? Please correct me. Or, in my opinion, it has this language multilingual rules booklet included. But and in my copy, which has English language rules, the backside is in Portuguese. So, hello Hans, good seeing you here. What else did I play? Yeah, one evening we tried to play an Infamous Traffic, but it was too late after dinner. So you see, at LeiriaCon, for lunch and dinner, you simply grab your food at a buffet, but you also grab your drinks. So beer, as many as you want, red wine, Portuguese of course, you drink as much as you want. There's even sangria on tap, and there is white wine, there's everything. So I must say, because it was late, we were tired. I'd say it was because of the late hour. Others may say, well, maybe they had drinking a little bit too much. And my explanation for sure was not good enough. And there was Ben involved, there was Isaac involved, Tony, I, and Karthik, of course. And I'm sorry, Karthik, that the explanation was so bad that we all got in for such a slow start. And after one game round, we called it a day, to be repeated earlier at a different time. I promise, Karthik. Okay, Matt is saying multilingual language edition, that's common. Yeah, but I think there should be a genuine English language edition. I think it would really move the game to a different level. But maybe I'm wrong. So no real and Infamous Traffic. But then there was this epic 4-player game with Isaac, Ben, and Steve of Through the Ages, a game which I hadn't played for a long time. And this 4-player game lasted, with breaks of course, lunch, dinner, beach, other things, lasted for about 8 hours. So that was something. And there is a photo here. Let me see. I think I posted this earlier. So there is, this is Isaac, also a member of the Chardonnay Mafia, and there's Steve, and there is Ben, the Beast of Berlin, of course. And I was sitting here, and you see we are playing Through the Ages, and that was fantastic. Maybe a tad long, but Isaac is an absolute expert in Through the Ages, and he guided me really through the game. And of course Isaac won, really well deserved, and he even played at the same time while playing the board game with us, but we were pretty slow. We had to think, what to do, what can we do. He played the app at the same time, so, and I think he won there as well. So I learned a lot, and I have now recently started playing against the AI in the Steam version a little bit. I think it has a fantastic tutorial, the Steam version, and let's see. I definitely want to play Through the Ages again, also on the table, but maybe not with 4. So I think I'd like to try it with 2 or 3. Yeah, that's just Matt is saying that's just showing off on Isaac's part. Hello, Blue Dane, good seeing you. So if you really can afford going to LeiriaCon, I think you should do. In my opinion, it is the best possible game convention that you can have. People are lovely, food, as I said, lovely. If you're coming here from Germany, you are getting out of late winter into springtime. There were about 16, 17 degrees Celsius, and almost always sunny. You can go to the Atlantic. It's fantastic, and you're laughing so much. And if you want to play, you can basically play all 24 hours. So the library is open till the last game is turned back in, which most of the time is early in the morning. At this time, it happened again that I was at breakfast at 8 o'clock in the morning, and there were other people, and they said, we are now having breakfast and then we are going to bed because we have played up to now. You can do so. And it's also pretty inexpensive being there, because a hotel is basically opening for us. This is a holiday beach season hotel. And of course, in March, it's way too cold to go to be at the beach and be there in the sun. So the rates are very good. As I said, you can have full board there for a very, very good price. Of course, if you are from the US, traveling over will be quite expensive, but otherwise, if you can afford it, please check out LeiriaCon in Portugal, done by Spiel Portugal, which are Paulo, Nuno, and Aurora and Costa and others. And sorry to not mentioning your names here. So organization is also top notch. And next year, the date is March 23rd till March 26th. So Thursday till Sunday. And if you are already in Portugal, you can of course see Lisbon, which is a fantastic city, or Porto, because on Sunday, on the last day of the convention, my wife, she flew out with me, but she's smarter than me. She stayed at Lisbon and had a few nice days. It's her favorite city in the world. And then she joined me on Sunday, and we took the bus on Monday to Porto. And we both haven't been at Porto, so we stayed there for a couple of very nice days. Although, and this has nothing to do with the quality of a large city, after a while I hate big cities. There are too many people, too many cars, but Porto, directly at the river, is nice. And of course, when I'm saying large city, big city, this is the second biggest city in Portugal, but it has only 250,000 inhabitants, and it doesn't feel really large, but for me it was already a little bit too much. So if you can maybe combine this, so seeing Lisbon, Porto, and then Leiria, then I think it's a fantastic time to have. And Portugal is of course a pretty small city. You can have a rental car, but you can also take the overland bus, which is very comfortable and very quick. So a ride from Lisbon to Leiria is 13 euros. From Leiria to Porto, it's 16.50. So it doesn't, and from Lisbon to Leiria, it stops just once in between. And from Leiria to Porto, it stops twice. So very comfortable, very nice thing to do. And yeah, Andre and Stefan, please give it a try. So if you are interested in this, you cannot have a better time at a game convention than at Leiria. You can just play whatever games you'd love, because the library is huge, or you bring your own games, and you can also test and play other games. And in my opinion, there are always players who are willing to play. And of course, you can just talk. I had so many most interesting talks about game design, about sports, about everything that is going on. Of course, about the Ukraine war as well. but really great time. Will you open a travel agency? No, I won't. And you don't want to travel with Uli Travel Agency. You don't want to do this. And Andre, yes, it could be a perfect time and place for another EPOS session, Gentis EPOS, with fresh players. Maybe this is something that will work. And Stefan, that's a good one. Travelworxx. I think that won't be a success. But before I stop, I have another thing. I'll have to end the episode with T-shirt love, because I have 2 T-shirts. Recently I got 2 T-shirts, different ones. And one is actually by Andre here, and he sent it to me. And maybe you can see this. Yeah, there is a Steineschmeißer, so which basically means stone thrower. And I love this shirt done by Andre to me, because I'm a kleiner Steineschmeißer. So this is really more for German language speakers, but really nice. But I got another T-shirt, which is of course Roosters hockey stuff. It's OC love, and you see this lovely person. This is OC. This is Ryan O'Connor, who in the last season, the former season in the DEL, he has the most assists as a defender. So new record for in the league history, most assists for the defender. And he's from Canada, and you see he's really a nice looking guy. So this is OC love, and I also proudly will wear this T-shirt. So it was a great mailing week for shirts for me. So really wonderful. Just to briefly repeat, there are a ton of pre-orders from Spielworxx this month and from GameFound. Tomorrow already there is Magnet, the First City, so the German edition for it, and then there will be Oranienburger Kanal, there will be John Company, there will be Root, both base game and first expansion, and of course, what did I miss? John Company, Root, I think maybe there is even one more. So you see, if you're old, you're forgetting everything. Pax Pamir is already on pre-order. So that should be everything. And next week, there is a Spielworxx chat. So next week, I have a wonderful guest. It is James Naylor of Naylor Games. So surprisingly, really surprisingly, we will talk about Magnet, the First City. Thank you all for your time today. If you would like to see a special topic discussed or have a question in mind that you'd like to ask, please drop me a mail at uli@spielworxx.de. That is uli@spielworxx.de. So till next week, bleibt alle gesund, support the Ukraine, and consider checking out LeiriaCon in 2023. Bye bye, have a good time, bye.